To your mind, is the WWE worth $9 billion? That's billion fucking dollars. Twitter. The Twitter purchase was 44 million. Billion, sorry, excuse me. Billion. 44. Which they talked about being an astronomical sum. But was still, I mean, Elon Musk would have paid about 8 times the EBITDA of Twitter, right? Which is about $5 billion. So you figure 44 billion. So 8 times the revenue before taxes is fair. Usually a 10 times valuation. That's something like 23 fucking times the earnings. You just throw the number out, I guess. Maybe when you Vince, you can. Doesn't mean he's going to get it.
So, just so we have something to compare it to, I just looked up the brand valuation of the New York Yankees. Okay. So that comes with Major League ad revenue. Okay. That's part of the deal. Major League package. They have their own station. The Yankees, they have their own shit. They have their own, like, so to me,
stadium, obviously.
Yeah, the stadium. What do you think that Forbes has their net worth at?
Well, you'd have to tell me what their earnings are, and I'll times it by 10, and I'll tell you what a fair valuation is.
I don't know what the fuck. I'm just pulled it up. On my
All right, I'll go with. Oh God, if they cleared $1 billion, $10 billion.
6.
Which seems high. I was going to say 10 seems high, but so $6 billion.
So $6 billion. So would you rather have the WWE for $9 billion or the New York Yankees for $6 billion?
I'd have to look at earnings to make my decision. I have to see what they make clear. Will I make my money back in 10 years? I'll take whichever one. If I make my investment back in 10 years of revenue before taxes on WWE, I'll take that. If I make my money back in
Steve's hot. Steve's like, Yankees are a private organization. Yankees aren't for sale. I'm not saying they are, Steve. Fuck, I'm sorry.
What are you, a Phillies fan, Steve?
Yeah. The Yankees won't play in Saudi. Okay, I'm just trying to get some. $9 billion is I can't wrap my head around it, so I have to, fucking put something out there. I watched the other day on. This is the kind of things I do. I was taking my morning fucking deuce, and they had the new $170,000 Corvette up against a $400,000 McLaren. And what they did was they went down, the track, and then there were cones, so they had to go around the cones for maneuverability, and then fucking straight line back. And the McLaren, I'm thinking like, how much faster is it going to be in this? Jesus. It was like the McLaren was it looked like it was computer generated as opposed to that Corvette. Now, granted, you're dropping a $168 on the Corvette, and the base model is 109, and the McLaren is a true supercar, but still, it's like, fuck. Not that I would fit in either. So
well, but right. So it depends what you personally value in a car.
Right.
You just might want the flash of the look. How many of us are going to drive our fucking car like you just described? Right.
Me all the time.
Right.
Up and down the beach road.
Your point being,
But my point
what's
being,
worth?
okay,
Uh-huh.
I mean, you when things become so ridiculously expensive, it was $6 billion a few months ago. Yeah, like what the? I mean, I've been following the stock. I've been doing my due diligence to what I can because I am invested into the company. So of course I want to make as much as possible. But
Took a little ride the other day. Did you see that?
yeah,
Topped out was did you break 90
I think it
the other
did.
day? Yeah, it came back down.
Well,
but-
when it was at 66, the street said it was going to be 100. It would go to 100.
Right. So knowing Vince McMahon as you do, right? Okay, there's the break on 90. Knowing Vince as you do, is he really intending to do this, or that $9 billion? Is that a figure that was thrown out to dissuade sales?
See, that's what I don't know. It's just like it's almost like I have no intention in selling my house. But if somebody called me up and said, I'll give you 3.5 for your house, I'm selling my house. But if you give me market value for it, it's like, no, man, just the pods sitting in front of my house with me fucking loading shit in that. That's a fucking $1 million right there.
You want me to pack this fucker up?
That's
$1 million.
Yeah, that's going to take a year off my fucking. I just lost a year of my life thinking about that.
Forget about the fucking value of the house. My packing is going to cost you $1 million.
Here's
I looked up the sales of some wrestling companies. Now these are all dilapidated. they weren't buying the Corvette that you were speaking of earlier, but still, by contrast, some of the numbers were kind of funny. WCW. Did you know WCW's purchase price when they sold?
2 or 3.
It was 3. Yeah. 3 million, not billion, everybody. Those of you that are younger, it was million back then. ECW they were already in bankruptcy court, so that allowed for an easy sale there. And I'll say this is my opinion after writing a book about this with Todd Gordon and looking at some bankruptcy filings from ECW in 2001, one in particular which listed WWE as a debtor for $500,000. So I wonder what that was all about. Get Todd as God on July 27th to find out. TNA sold to Anthem Sports. Now, when you were there well before this. This was late. I think this was probably 2017. You were long done there.
Yep.
Ring of Honor sold to Sing.
What did Anthem pay for TNA?
They never disclosed it. It was a private sale. So, but it included everything. I mean, it was the library, the name, some of the contracts. I guess there were some big names still there, so they purchased the contracts.
What
with it.
Jeff made on that whole fucking deal?
See, but wasn't he? It would be interesting to talk to him about this.
I never. My whole thing is, man, I'm just not one of those people that needs to fucking, I don't need to know what people make, and it doesn't matter to me. But I'm just
for a business story. It would be interesting.
I'm just curious because I know that he, it was his company, and then Dixie came in. I never knew the specifics on how the deal went down.
Well, but Jerry was in it too initially.
Yeah,
in its original incarnation.
with the girls dancing in the cages.
So what we talked in a previous episode about potential buyers, and there was like 5 or 6 that were always bandied about. The field has kind of narrowed. I keep seeing the same 3 here and there. That Liberty that has the interest in Formula One racing, which thing I did know about that was they also have a majority stake in Live Nation, right? So one of the things I was looking at when I was looking at these companies like Comcast, which from a media standpoint would seem to be a good buyer, what experience do they have in live events? We were talking earlier today. Live event has to stay a major component of wrestling, even for the broadcast. You can't have a half-full fucking arena in a WWE broadcast today.
Yeah.
You need to handle live shows still. So it would make sense if Live Nation's a part of that. Was it a 1/3 stake? Yeah. So still, they'd have that there. We have a live audience here. What do some of the fans think? Who do you guys think would be good buyers? Is everyone still awake out there? You need another Buddy Rich solo to wake you up? What's going on out there? So to me,
they're all dead.
David letting us know that Ron Jeremy claims he's done over 4,000 adult films. Probably 2 or 3 scenes per film. 12,000 scenes. The Hedgehog.
Yeah. I'll go on his credibility.
Disney as a buyer.
So was he saying that Ron Jeremy should buy the WWE?
That would be interesting. I don't think from prison he's got the clout any longer. But that would have been an interesting direction to take the company. Josh Henney saying that private is the best. Going private is the best option for them.
As long as you've got some place to fucking show that, you know. If you don't have access to your own, I mean.
David's saying Netflix to buy it and go full streaming. That's what Kevin suggested a few weeks ago, or a couple of months ago when we first talked about this.
I just thought it's the next progression. I mean, how many fucking television shows from Turkey and India, and can I watch badly dubbed in the course of a week before we get some fucking, you know, something on that motherfucker? Worth waiting. I'll be the fucking judge of that motherfucker.
Bryant Haremza says move the content to Amazon Prime, drive people there. So I don't think Amazon. Did we hear Amazon as a potential buyer? I don't know.
Amazon actually, they had like it was huge what they had. No, their net was 11.3. Yeah, their net was 11.3 billion.
Right.
You look and they're wanting 9, not 6, 9
anymore. As of 2021, Disney had $15.9 billion in cash on hand. Forget about earnings. That was sitting in the bank, so that purchase could happen.
You know, every girl wants 9, but she settles for 6.
Settles for 6. But every guy's got 11, right? If you read Forum,
soft.
11 soft. So I don't know. I do. You know, the statement from Triple H this week, where he was asked at the press conference after Elimination Chamber about his opinion about the sale. And I think he's been quiet up to this point, publicly, through the whole...
Steve says Amazon's got $84 billion.
What do they even need WWE for? That point, fuck. But Triple H said that, what's this here? Amazon's cash on hand, yeah, okay. So, Amazon had, as of 2020, $58 billion. The numbers we're talking about are just, they're not even real. $58 billion, $84 billion. What does it even mean?
Yeah, and how much of it is to go and take,
they don't need that headache.
No, they'd just rather park those fucking trucks all over the place and get in a wreck.
They don't need to run a fucking wrestling company. They already deliver the world to your house, and they have their
and have by far the best penis-shaped fucking rocket ship.
Amazon.
Yeah. My son wanted to kill him with a marine killing knife. When he showed up with that cowboy hat on, my son was like, I could cut his throat and fucking go right to bed.
That's right. They have Whole Foods now, so you can even get Whole Foods delivered.
Yeah, they fucked that up.
Amazon. Bezos, visionary.